The sugya there is really mashkoin. Okay, so he brings down the Machlokes Rishonim, Toisves against the Ramban and Rashi. I think we do need to understand this. I think so. I have here the paper. Okay, what? No, the first 2 pages. That's all.
Oh, it's you. You didn't go. What happened to you? Hashem didn't go. I didn't go. I left right. That's when we started. Come on. Good.
Want to stay in Eretz Israel? Where do you stay, by the way? Where do you sleep? Talpio, where? Yosef Drutman?
Best other place.
Ah, good. Baruch Hashem. A bus, Baruch Hashem. Good. So I'm going to explain by heart and we'll see it inside. So he says like this. The Gemara says if somebody tells a woman, I got Mekudesh, you married to me, and with her money, 100 zuz, but he gives her collateral. So 100 zuz, he didn't give her to her, and he gave her just a mashko and a collateral. So the 100 zuz is just a promise. He cannot marry with a promise. And the mashko, he didn't give it to her. He didn't give the body of the mashko. The mashko is just the collateral. That when he pays the money, he exchange it, but he didn't give it to her. Why mashko shavaputo? He's giving it back, but he's giving me it back. If I pay him the money, he gives me back. So he explains. Machlokes Rishonim. Kuf Tzadik. It's in the papers, the first page below. There's a choice, but I'm reading the first part of the which was not printed there. And the reason of the maskon and kan, but the Rosh explains. Mevur Sham Barosh. The kol zman shel nischay gufoy. As long as you didn't mechayev the body of the collateral, lo nishtab in the chos of the inu arevin. When your assets are guarantor, when your body is obligated and your assets are guarantor to your personal obligation, and your nechosim arevin, the nechosim, your assets are guarantors to your promise. But when there's no promise, when there's no obligation on your body, so there's no loan, there's no borrow, there's no orev. Orev means a guarantor. There's no borrowing, there's no guarantee. And since there's no borrowing, why there's no borrowing? Because you just promise with words. Says I marry you with 100 zuz. I will give you 100 words. And he puts a collateral on this promise of his words. So the collateral has no value because it's on air. Is giving a collateral, not an obligatory obligation. There's no obligation here. Just words. I'll marry you with 100 zuz. I'm going to give you 100 zuz to marry you. I need to keep my words? No. It's words. There's no obligation. No kinyan Mashiach Agbo on it. There's no kinyan on it. And then he puts a collateral on verbal words, verbal obligation. So the Rosh says that's why it doesn't work. What? There's no borrowing, there's no owing. No, the loive dalvo is the money, the promise that he promised the money. That's not that wasn't a loan, it's just a promise with words. Dvorim, words. Abacadabra, palabra. Palava. In other words, nothing. The Ein Sham Toises wrote there. According to the sheet, if Nosan Shtarchov, Me'ani afilu beloi mashkoi. If somebody gives a document of a debt, work even without a mashkoi. The Shtarchov the day in his own Shtarchov, Avele Kemoi Kesef is like money. Ben lekidusha ben lekaka. So Toisa says, if somebody writes his own Shtarchov, it is like Kesef ben lekidusha ben lekaka. The guy says, "I'll you money," and he gives a Shtarchov. So then it's like Kesef. What? It's star, but star with a debt in it. So you have like a king on the debt. It's not words. I'll go marry with 100 Jews. You wrote a star that he owes the 100 Jews. So when you write a star that he owes 100 Jews, is money as a market value. You can sell the check. You can sell the star to people. A promissory note is worth money. So when you give a promissory note, even if it's yours, even without a mashcoin, it's like kesef, and it works like kiddushin and karka according to Tosfos. Because it's kesef. Okay, maybe not gufo moment, but by kiddushin I don't give it's gufo moment on. As a market value, it's finished. It works kiddushin and karka. So maybe what's his name for egdesh and pinyan ben wouldn't work because then I need gufo moment. I need a body to be money, not promissory note. That has a market value, has to be intrinsic value. But by kiddushin and karka, such money works. According to Tosfos. I'm reading the Ktsois HaChosh and Tzivkoton Vov. But Shitas HaRamban veRashbo, that when somebody promises us 100 Jews and he puts a collateral on it, the collateral works. But it's not money. For karka and kiddush is not considered money. Why? There's the famous Ramban and Rashbo, because the money didn't come out of him. When somebody writes his own document of a debt, promissory note, so the woman received a debt, but the money didn't come out of me. That's what yes, that's what I said. One second, we'll see. According to their opinion. They hold that when I give a shtarchov, it's not money because it's still attached to me. Nothing came out of me. Maybe he received, but he didn't come out of me. So we have a machloikis between Rosh, Toises against the Ramban and Rash. The Rosh and Toises holds that when somebody gives a promissory note, it's considered money for kiddushin and karka. And the Ramban and Rashba hold that somebody gives a promissory note, it's not money. Why? Because she received, but he didn't come out of him. She received a document, a note of a debt, but the money is still attached to him. It didn't leave him. And you need two things. It didn't come out of you and it comes to him. As to leave you and you receive by him. According to God, it's enough that it's by him, even though it's a tool attached to me. It's enough. Or it's enough, or you say that since I created through this promissory note. Money by you is considered I gave you. You receive and I gave through my creation. Even though it didn't leave my money, the money didn't leave me, my domain, but I created a debt. So I gave you a debt. Like I gave you a document of others. Like I gave you a gift. Even the Rashba agrees. Even the Rashba of Zayin says that if and that's a print in the papers, by the way, in page 3, that brings the Rashba. And I read the Rashba, I think, yesterday to everyone. Right? I read the Rashba yesterday? I did, right? What? I read it, right, Reb Shlomo? I read it. So the Rashba says in page 3 that by Shtarchov Da'acherim, if I have a document of others, I have money, I have a debt, you hear this, Rabbi Yosef? If somebody gave me a check, third-party check, and I give it to a woman, even the Rashba agrees that it works. Why? The money never left me, the money never left him. But the shiabud left me. He received shiabud and left me that shiabud because it's a third party. When I create a debt, so when I give him a star of debt, he received the debt, but the money never left me. But when I have a third party check, I never had money. I only had a debt. I only had a shiabud. And whatever I had, I gave over to him. So that shiabud left me and it went to him. So the Rashba says a promissory note of a third party does work by Kiddushin and Karka. There's no problem about Gida Gabe. But a promissory note of myself, the day, doesn't work. Why? No, he says no. He says a promissory note from a third party. So I have a promissory, I have a shiabud, and I give it, left me, and it went to him. But when I create the promissory note, so really he received a promise, a shiabud, on me, but it never left me because the money's still by me. So nothing really came out of me, only you received. Although I created, so the Rosh in Toysa's world, I created is like I gave you something. But then he says, no, create is nothing. Since the money is still held by you, so you received the debt, but the money is still attached to me. But when there's nothing attached to me, because there's a third party debt to me, Pliny, I'm playing from Shom Pliny, and I'm giving it over, it's finished. Now it's like whatever I had, I gave. So it left me to receive to him. So it's a giving and a receiving. It says there would work. Imagine you go to a store and you write your own check. He looks at you, I don't believe you. I check. Okay. He gave me something. No, not because he doesn't trust, because your check is just a piece of paper, a word. Somebody else's words, whatever I had was a word, and I gave over a word. So he received whatever I had. So I gave what I had. Come from yourself, so you received a promissory note from you, a promise from you. But the promise never left you. Stays by you, just your words, and the money's in your pocket. You have the piece of paper, you can trade with it. You can trade with it and you give it over to him. So whatever you had, whatever you had, you gave. It's money actually.
What happened? I know that you work as a money start a document, but what happened if I have a document and I know it's for money, but I don't have nothing? I only have a start that someone gave me as a present, and I want to buy, I don't know, I want to buy something, but I don't have how to pay that.
Right, so just promise. People go and buy with a promise. Rabbi Yosef, you know what the people go and buy just with a promise? People go and buy just with a promise. They don't have the money. Just promise.
The promise of payment, but they don't have money this time.
Right? So the person won't believe you. Most people won't believe you if you don't have money. Or you don't have a way to get money. Post a check. But if you have, listen, I have a wage, I have money coming in, fundraising, an option, this, okay, so people will believe you, will not believe you. I can make money, I can go to work. Mañana.
That promise of payment, that means that my father or my mother must pay.
Whatever it is, you need to pay. Question: how are you going to get the money? Whatever the person needs to believe you, but you obligate yourself.
Now we have the modern era. In that era, all that is a piece of later.
No, it doesn't matter if it's a piece of paper, or leather, or in a leaf. You write on a leaf too. No difference. So comes the Ktsois and he says, even according to the Rashba, that Shtar Chov is not money. Fekaka and Kiddushin, but Shtachov Da'acherim does work. I'm reading inside the Ketubah. We don't have it. I don't know. I'm waiting for it. I gave out. We now, Ine, it is 2-4.
Another question and that's it.
1 second. Because you decided on one more question means I need to listen. Just 1 second. 4, 6, 8, 9 lines on the bottom on the right side. 9 lines on the bottom on the right side. What do you want to say, Sheikh?
Know that the star can buy or can get in a woman in your property, right? And also we know that a star can make a get and get out of the
Yes.
property. As why only with money we need like no, the question is why with money that I know I can buy a woman, I cannot get out of my property with money. Why? I understand that the gate is the same as money, but the money can get out with woman from my property. I want to get.
Good question. Good question.
Divorce with an
Gemara says, the Gemara asks a question. The Gemara says, en kategon asasanegon. En sanegon, which is somebody that is your advocate, cannot be your delegatory against you. Yes. So the money cannot be something good, could be bad, also destroy your wife. Okay. Now comes the Ketubah and he says, Ve'ine nire raya. I'll bring you a proof. I'm reading 9 lines on the bottom on the right column. Ve'ine nire raya. It brings a proof. The shtar chov me'ani b'mokom kesef. A promissory note is the exchange of money. The Isar Eshperek Anois in Ksubas Kuf Beis Amudan. As the Acherim, I think. Well, let's see, he's going to speak about it. Kosav lekohen shanichad lo 5 shloim. If somebody wrote to a coin, I owe you 5 shekels, 5 sela. Chayv liten lo, he needs to give him. 5 shloim, but his child is not part because it's just a promise. Omar Ulo says, from the Torah, when he gives the money, the son is redeemed. When he gives a promissory note, this is a promise, so the child's not redeemed yet. But when he gives the money from the Torah, is redeemed. My time, why the rabbi said it doesn't work? His son is not redeemed. When he gives, there's a decree. People will make a mistake and think that what redeemed the baby was a document and not the Torah says no, only kesef. But really, when I promise with money and I actually then give the money, so when I give the money from the Torah, it should be redeemed when I give. No promise. It's always a history of promise. But right now, I gave, so let me redeem. The Rabbanon is not. So what do we see from this Ulo? Since Ulo says that the child is redeemed when he does give the money, Umashma, you can infer from this, Koidim Shi'iden, before he gives the money, just promised, for sure the child's not redeemed. I feel it from the Torah, I feel it from the if I'm going to say that Shtar Day is like money, why from the Torah his child is not redeemed? I feel koinim shitin before he gives. However, you can answer that. He's asking why give a promissory note. Yes, it's not money. So from the Torah, let it be redeemed before I give the money, the physical money. So he answers, if so is possible. The shiny pidyon, different is pidyon aben, or pidyon of Egdeisho is Kevin Imid Avodim Shtori, Sheponim, and since the Torah is my slaves and documents, which is not money. Kenu adim shtachov lidei, even his own promissory note. Nami and point shudolav gufa momoin, because it's not, his body is not money, it's just a promise to money. אבל by kiddushin, אני שתחוב לאחרים, by kiddushin definitely שתחוב לאחרים is כסף, יש לו עם הרוב שתחוב לאחרים כסף. שתחוב לאחרים is money, just doesn't work by stories, by pidyon aben, but by kiddushin and karka, שתחוב לאחרים, שתחוב לאחרים, both would work. Ela, rather, the akati shlechalik. Still there is to split. The shtarchov da'acherim, then poidim, you cannot redeem with a promissory note of others. Anu mishum, it is because, and guvamoli, because there's not the body is not money. I'm giving over a promissory note to somebody else. So it's not money, just promise. Mishum then you don't buy the document. You just buy the debt. And only through the proof of the debt, you buying the proof. The piece of paper, it's a proof of the debt. And the document is not money. Aval shtarchov the day you want to say a very big kiddush. The mechayev atzmo, shtarchov when you do obligate yourself. Ubazen ishtabed with this, is meshabed himself to him. If so, the zav gufo moment is possible. It's considered go for moment. I'm just going to come on the kiddush of the choice. Again, shtarchov da'acherim doesn't work by pidyon aben and hegdei shows because of the go for moment. Shtarchov da'acherim, the paper just a proof for the debt. So I'm giving over the proof of the debt. Through that, I'm giving over the debt. So that doesn't works by marriage and land because it's money. Third party check is money. Would work by kiddushin and karka, but wouldn't work by a hegdesh and pidyon aben because I need gufa momoin. But shtarchov the day he wants to say maybe even not only by kiddushin would work, even by pidyon aben and hegdesh would work shtarchov the day. Why? Because since you obligate yourself, so it's considered gufa momoin maybe. Why? Because why? Because as a market value, and since you obligate yourself, and I'm giving you a piece of paper proof to my obligation, but there is your obligation there. So it's possible to consider go for a moment because the paper is not a proof for the debt. You have a direct word of me that I did it myself. Through the piece of paper is a proof to what, but you have my words. I don't know. He wants to say that's considered go for a moment. Or even though he wants to say it's not true. Or in the Berikama, the Kiddushin we see near the Shtachov the day Avelekemo Kesef. It is Kesef. Is Shtachov is Kesef. Like the Emo says, Uminayin Shah Bishtar Vedinu. Uma Kesef Shalom Yitzim Machnis, Shtav Shalom Yitzim Machnis. Male Kesef Shekepoidim Moedish Meiser Sheini. Toimar Shtar Shepoidim Meiser Pirash Rashi Shtar. Shepoidim Kosav Lagizbor Shtar Al Mois Pidyon English. En English products, even though some kids are going, Wucher Lefar Shtar Di Day. Rashi learned that he wrote the promissory note. The Ibesh Tachov Da'acherim Ein Zemin Al Alomed is not the subject. Don't bother much Shtar Di Day. We want to learn Shtar, not money. When the Omru Toimar Shtar Shepoidim English Sheni Mashma. Then the Kiddush of Gami Gakav the Kesef. By Kiddush would work. We won't say Kesef, I'll say Shtar really. אם לא יקנה ולממה לכסף שקבוי לאישו וקרקע. משמע דגם השטר דידי קוינים בו קרקע וקידושין, אלא שאין פוינים או אגדש ומייסן שני. So what do we see from Rashi? That shtar chov diday would work by karka and by kiddushin. But he learns within kesef gufa momoin. And they don't mix.
Yeah, pushing the part, pidyon aben is another part.
That's exactly what he does. That's exactly, he's not mixing. You mixing in your head.
No.
He makes order. He makes order. Listen, I'm giving you the fruit, not the klipa. The fruit is that by kiddushin and by karka, shtar chov diday works because it's a kesef. and it's Gufay Mamoin. Well, I don't care if it's Gufay Mamoin or not. Because Shtarchov Da'acherim, it's not the subject. It's not somebody else's document. Talk about your own document. That's a document you're writing to a woman. Agam Mekudesh Esli, Shtarchov Didei. So by Egdush Meiser Sheini, Shtarchov Didei, it doesn't work. But by Kiddushin and by Karka, Shtarchov Didei would work. Why would work? He learns his kesef. It's kesef. Shtarchov the day is mamish kesef. Shtarchov the day, Shtarchov the acherim is kesef, but it's en gufon momon. En gufon momon. Shtarchov the day, he would say that his gufon momon would work even for Ekdush, but the Gemara says clearly that Shtarchov the day, it's kesef for kiddushin and for karka, but it's not kesef for pinyan aben and Ekdush, because it's not considered gufon momon. So why the Gemara didn't talk about Shtarchov the acherim? That it works by karka and by kiddushin, but not by hekdesh, because that's not the subject of the Gemara. The Gemara wants to know that Shtarchov, his own shtar by kiddushin works, and by hekdesh doesn't work. So that's why they don't talk about Shtarchov Da'achim. Comes the K'tois HaChoshim, and he says lule divrei Rashi. He says if it wasn't for the words of Rashi. I'm reading now 2, 4, 6, 7 lines on the bottom, on the left column. So let's summarize what we learned. We learned Rashi. Rashi Shita is a kotekzois that Shtarchov Da'acherim is money. And Gufa Momi, you cannot do Egdesh and Meiser Sheni. You cannot pay your Egdesh Meiser Sheni and Pina Ben, because then Gufa Momi. But by a woman, it's money. It's enough money to marry, because a woman doesn't need Guf Momoin. It's to be money. Value is value. It's market value, finish. But Shtarchov the day, he had a suffix. Maybe it's Guf Momoin, maybe not. So he wants to say maybe it's Guf Momoin, reference to, it's money for reference to Kiddushin and Karka. But it ain't Guf Momoin, even Shtarchov the day, which is, that's a subject of the Gemara, doesn't work for Hegdesh opinion of it. Even Shtarchov the day. Only with real money. Damim, Gufoy Momoy. But Shtarchov, even the day, will not work. What? Right? Because what's the Havamina? Because it has market value. A check has a market value. You go to the change, they give you 2% less, but you get money. Some kind of value to it. But intrinsic, there's no money to it. There's a market value would have intrinsic money. Yes. Intrinsic incentive inside. But by Kiddushin and Kaka would work. To buy land would check. Yeah. No, according to everyone would work. He wants to say check shel mishu acher would work because it's money. Shtarchov Da'acherim is money. And that's what we saw the Machlokes Toises Verosh against the Rabban and Rashbo. The Tois and the Rosh learns that money and kan mashkoin against no ischayvus. When you write a Shtarchov, even without a mashkoin, it's like kesef. Shtarchov is like kesef. Shtarchov the day is kesef, and she's mekudeshes. And the Rabban and the Rashbo learn that when I write a star, it's not kesef, because the kesef didn't leave him. Again, Toises and Nafchet Amud Beis learns that Shtarchov the day it's kesef, and it works for Kiddushin and Kaka Midin kesef, because there's no din of Gufa Momoin. He won't say maybe it is Gufa Momoin. It's not clear here. But the Ramban and Rashbo learn that Shtarchov the day does not work Midin kesef. Why? Because she received it and nothing come out of him. It's still a gide gabe. Shtarchov da'acherim is not a gide gabe. A gide gabe is still awkward. Awkward means a tight to him. It's still tight. Tight, קשור. לבעל. הבעל לא שחרר. הוא נתן לה והוא לא הוציא ממנו. כי זה חוב. זה רק שטר חוב. So therefore they hold that שטר חוב maybe the day, according to Toises and the Rosh is kesef. According to the Ramban and the Rashba was not kesef shtar chov the day. Why? Because only she received it didn't come out of him. It's still attached to him. Now, how do I learn Rashi? So the church learns Rashi. And he says, Rashi says that by Hegdesh and Maisel Sheni shtar chov the day doesn't work. But by Kiddushin would work, right? By Kiddushin and Kaka shtar chov the day would work. By Hegdesh and Maisel Sheni it doesn't work. So what do we see from Rashi? Why shtar chov the day by Hegdesh and Kiddushin, by Kiddushin and Kaka works? He learns because Rashi is like Toises and the Rosh. Because it's kesef. It's kesef. But we're not talking about if it's guf moment or not. I don't know. I don't know if it's guf moment. But it's kesef. It's kesef. We don't care. It's kesef for Kiddushin and Kaka. Kaka and Kiddushin, I don't need guf moment. What about Egdesh and Maisel Sheni shtar chov the day? It doesn't work. Must be it's not guf moment. So again, he wants to learn Rashi. You hear Reb Shlomo? We have a machlokes Toises and Rosh against Ramban and Rashi. When somebody wrote a shtar chov the day, is it kesef or not kesef for Kiddushin because it didn't come out of you? Since Rashi learns a shtar chov the day, Rashi learns that we talk about shtar chov the day, his own shtar chov, right? That by Egdesh and Maisel Sheni does not redeem, but by Kaka and Kiddushin would work. So what do you see what Rashi learns? Like the Toises and the Rosh, that shtar chov the day it's money for Kiddushin and Kaka. Jeez, by Egdesh and Maisel Sheni and Guf HaMamon doesn't work. This is the way he learns. I don't need Guf HaMamon, I just need money and it's money. The problem with the Ktsois, 1 second. The problem with the Ktsois is a very simple problem with his Pshat. Because he says, shtar chov da'acherim is not our subject. Talk about shtar that he wrote. That's not true. Shtar chov the day, it's money. And we talking about shtar, not money. That's why the Rashba argues on Rashi. And he says a shtar here is not shtar choy, it's just a shtar of a pidyon, a reza podun. And by Kaka and by Kiddushin works. The money is just a debt. And that's the way the Makar also learns in Rashi. That when Rashi says shtar, he doesn't say shtar chov. In cause of shtar, almois, he doesn't say shtar chov almois. Rashi doesn't say choy a debt. He wrote a shtar on the money. How do you write a shtar on the money? He says, I need to give you money. I give you, I'm kinyan money that will make a dimyon. But you know, I write a shtar. The shtar makes the kinyan. The pinyan go on the choy. The hegdesh will go on the choy, but the pinyan will be through shtar. This is the way the Makna learns in Rashi. But the Ktsois didn't learn like that. The Ktsois learned that Pshat and Rashi is, and Rashi is like the Rosh and Toises. That shtar chov the day it's kesef by Kiddushin and Kaka. And that's Pshat and Rashi. The problem is, we talk about shtar, not kesef. How's the Rashi? What's Kash against Rashi? Subject. Oh, must be that Rashi learned that shtar chov da'acherim is lo agide gabe. And the only reason doesn't work is in Gufay Mamon. Shtar chov the day is not mekesed because it's lo agide gabe, like the Ramban and the Rashba. But it's only right. It's agide gabe. That's the reason it doesn't work mitzad kesef, but it works mitzad shtar, like the Makar. This was my answer, Pshat Rashi. Yes, yes. Yeah, very good. This is the Pshat what I said in the Shul Klovi 2 days ago in Israelis. Okay, we'll stop here. You have to continue on. We'll do Bezrat Hashem the Ktsois I want to do. I want to go over the Ktsois. I have to go a little bit more his Pshat. So he refers here.